Hello YouTube, it's Si here from Si Moto Photo. Welcome back to the channel. I want to start the video off today by thanking everybody that's subscribed to the channel. It's not been going very long and already we're up to nearly 1,500 subscribers. So thanks very much for getting involved with the channel. And thanks to everyone who's commented in the comment section and given us a thumbs up for the videos. It really means a lot. But today's going to be a right good day. Actually, I've got the keys of this T120 Black Edition Triumph. And I've got dry roads, not a drop of rain. The sun is shining here in sunny Scotland, and I'm going to take this bike out and put it through its paces, and I'm going to let you see what I think of the Triumph T120 Bonneville Black Edition. So come on, we'll take it for a ride. Out in the open road with a Bonneville on a gloriously sunny day. Does life actually get any better? So I've become acquainted with the bike. I've spent a bit of time on it now. Done a few miles on it. Done a bit of motorway miles as well, and it was really comfortable on the motorway. You're quite in the bike. Headlights quite big at the front of the bike, which tends to push a lot of the wind away. Although you do get a bit in the shoulders and the head, obviously being a naked. You've got great vision behind you with the mirrors. I can see probably about 2/3 of the mirror, both sides behind me, and I don't find them vibey at all. So I can see plenty behind me. I can see lots that's going on. So it's a really nice place to sit. The seats firm but plush, and I've got plenty of leg room. The tank's got some sort of indents to the side of it that your legs fit right into, and because it's a parallel twin, it's quite a narrow bike. It's got a narrow stance, so it feels lovely. You feel really in control of it. You feel as if your legs can grip it really well. But this is where the Bonneville comes into its own. Nice twisty back roads. It's the Black Edition model, so you can see the wheels are all blacked out on this bike, and the engine casings are blacked out. Even the handlebars and the sort of handlebar mount is all blacked out as well, and it gives the bike a real sort of stealthy, stylish, classic look in my opinion. I love the black bowl that the headlight sits in as well. You've got your spoked wheels, just giving it that authenticity at being the sort of classic bike. And you've also got a brown seat on the Black Edition model. Ironically, a Black Edition model will give you a brown seat, but it's really nice and it's really stylish. The engine is just a joy. It's a parallel twin. It's got 78 horsepower, I think, 105 newton meters of torque. And you know the sort of the USP, or the unique selling point of this bike, is just how buttery smooth the engine and the power delivery is on the bike. A buttery smooth power delivery at the bottom end. It's just got a lot of punch, but it doesn't. It still likes to rev. It's got plenty of power. You know, I'm really starting to get an appreciation of these parallel twin engines and the usable power that they have. They're a real joy to ride. You know, you can have really peaky high performance engines, but a lot of the time they're kind of irrelevant on the roads, just because to access the power you really need to be going bananas. But you don't have to do that in this bike. You know, it's such an easy bike to live with, to ride. It's so neutral in its handling. It's got quite a steep, for the type of bike it is, it's got quite a steep rake, which makes it quite agile. I'm actually really surprised at how well it turns. You know, if you're one of these guys that, you know, loves to go and tinker with bikes and, you know, do all your own home mechanics and not bother if you need all sorts of stuff done to the bike. You just put it in a garage and get it when you can get it. If that's you, then an old classic model would probably suit you, but it's definitely not me. I'm hopeless when it comes to mechanics and stuff. I want to ride a bike. I want to experience a bike. I don't want to spend time in the garage. Maybe it's as I get older, I'd rather let someone else do the work on it, just to give me the time to go and do other things. And this is where a modern classic comes into its own. You've got that, ultra characterful classic styling, but you've got the reliability and the modern sort of sharpness, because it's a modern bike.
It's such a nice place to sit. The power delivery is so progressive and linear, and it's got some real meat around the bones in the bottom and mid-range. Don't get me wrong, it still likes to rev out, but it's more down low and mid-range that you really sort of get the enjoyment out of this bike. I love the twin clocks on the bike as well. They've got a real classic look about them, and there's something quite nice about having a set of twin dials at the front of the bike. It's just nice to look down on. It's more in tune with this bike. It would look silly with an LCD dash or a TFT dash. It just wouldn't go. But the clocks that Triumph have put on it really do look quite special, in my opinion. I love the exhaust is all blacked out in the bike, and you've got like the twin sort of pea shooter exhausts on it, and they do have a nice thrum off them. There's a cat in here, just in the bottom in here, and it's kind of hidden out the way. The suspension on the bike's quite plush. It's not, it's not underdamped. It feels lovely when you're on the bike. It takes the corners really well as well. It holds a great line, so it's well set up. And I'm a big unit, and this bike, it certainly wasn't out of step for me sitting on it. It was lovely to ride around the back roads. I love this sort of, Monza style. Not Monza style fuel cap. Sorry, it's like a little sort of clip that you pull back and reveals the keyhole, but it makes it look really clean. And it's just set off to the one side of the tank, so again giving it a sort of more classic look and classic appeal. It's got twin shocks on the back, and again the twin shocks were absolutely fine for me. They handled my weight more than adequately, and it was super plush and super comfortable when you were riding about on the bike.
This is lovely. This is lovely. You don't get a feeling where you want to really push on with the bike. It makes you feel like you want to appreciate the ride of the bike, and you want to appreciate the road and appreciate the journey. It's just nice.
The bike's got a tubular steel frame. The chassis is really, you're obviously tried and tested, and you're running on a 17-inch wheel at the back and an 18-inch wheel at the front, and it's sitting in Michelin Road Classic tyres, and the tyres were absolutely lovely. It's warm roads, there's no moisture whatsoever, so the tyres were absolutely fantastic, but I don't know how they would do in the wet. Somebody tell me in the comments section what they think it would, or what it's like in the wet. I don't know, I've never really ridden it in the wet, to be honest. You've got twin pot brakes on it as well, twin disc brakes on it as well, so you've got plenty of stopping power. The calipers are provided by Brembo, typical Triumph, really high quality components that are on the bike, and the brakes I felt were fine. You need to give the lever a good squeeze, but it certainly it holds you up. You're not lacking in brakes. They're just maybe needing a wee bit more of a pull, and I think that's just, again, one of the features of a classic bike. The handlebar width is 780mm, and the seat height is 790mm. So I am 6 foot exactly, and just for me sitting on the bike, I can get both feet down flat on the ground, and my legs are ever so slightly bent as well, so I've got plenty of purchase on the ground when I'm sitting on the bike.
You've also a really fantastic feature that I've grown to love over the years. The bike's at cruise control, and you press this little button here, it will just set to the speed you're at. It's not got the fancy cruise control where you can up the speed or reduce the speed. You just press it and that's it set, which can be really handy if you're going on a long run, as anyone who's been on a long run and used cruise control will know. It just gives you a chance to shake your hand down, your throttle hand down. Just give you time to get some blood back in your fingers. You've also got a little sort of information button here, which gives you access to the little LCD dial and gives you some information in terms of your trip computer there. Press it again, it gives you your trip B. Press it again, it gives you your mileometer or your odometer, which you can reset by holding that I button in. You've got your miles per gallon, currently showing 48.8. You've got the time, and you can also turn your traction control on and off using this wee button as well. Just when it goes to TC, you hold it in and turn it on or turn it off. So a couple of wee things that you can get access to. Also, although it's quite a stripped back to basics classic bike, it still has got some modern technology on it as well, just to help you along the way. I've been on the seat for a good 2-3 hours now, and it's a really comfortable seat actually. It's a little bit firm when you first get on it, but it actually holds up really well. And I find that sometimes with seats, when they're a little bit harder, they come into their own once you've done a few miles. Sometimes when you get on a big plushy soft seat, the bones of your backside can sometimes get sore after a wee while. I don't know if it's just too soft, not giving enough support, but I'm finding this actually really, really nice.
Do you know one thing I really love about this bike, right? It's a water-cooled engine, but it's really stealthy in terms of its radiator and how it water cools that engine. Triumph have really thought about this. They've put the radiator longitudinal. They put the radiator up and down, and it makes it look really quite stealthy. It looks as if it doesn't actually have a radiator from a side profile. It's a great feature. It's a great touch.
The Bonneville, how cool can it get, right? When you get guys like Steve McQueen, Clint Eastwood, these kind of guys, that the Bonneville was their weapon of choice. It's just, it's such a cool bike. It's got a classic look about it. It's timeless. You could buy one of these and put it in the garage, and in 20 years time it would still look as cool as it does today, and as cool as it did when it first came out. It's such a classic and iconic bike. It's no wonder that people are snapping these things up, while you can still get them, because when the bureaucrats get a hold of it and stop them from producing petrol bikes, these things are going to be so desirable, man. It's like, grab yourself a classic. Honestly, it won't disappoint you. It's so much fun to ride, and wherever you go and wherever you park it, people just want to talk to you about it and ask you, is it an old bike? Is it a new? No, it's a new bike. It's a new bike, really. It's got an iconic, classic, timeless style about it, and they're just fantastic. Is it a do-it-all bike? Well, you can't get touring kit and stuff for it, so I don't know. I'm sure there's lots of people out there do use it for their all-day bike, their everyday bike. If you do, stick in the comments, tell me, how do you find it? Do you feel as if you're missing something when you've got this as your everyday bike, or your only bike? What a bike. Great fun to ride.
So that was that, the T120 Bonneville Black Edition. What a cracking day, what a cracking ride. Thoroughly enjoyed riding this bike, it was great fun. I'm beginning to really, really love this parallel twin engine. It's so nice to ride, and it's got a real sort of meaty, grunty power delivery. It's so enjoyable on the road. It's a really enjoyable engine to just blast about on. And I'd love to hear from you guys that own these bikes in the comment section. What do you think of them? Is it your holy grail bike? Do you love it? Would you change it? What would you change it for? It's just, I'm really starting to appreciate these bikes, and they were never on my radar before. So, brilliant fun, absolutely brilliant fun. But listen, I hope you enjoyed the video. If there's any other Triumphs that you want to see me taking out and doing some sort of review or test ride on, give me a shout and let me know. I'd love to go out and let you see what they're all about. But thanks again for tuning in to Moto Photo. I hope you have a cracking week, and we'll see you in the next video.